Greetings, we are from Group 44. My group consists of two members who are Nosajita binti Muhammad Najib and me, Sam Jong Yi. The assignments that our group did are Water Resources Engineering and Environmental Engineering. However, the information that we get from others' team are Structural and Material Engineering and Geological, Geotechnical, and Transportation Engineering. The first part of our video will explain and discuss the subfields of civil engineering. We will start from structural and material engineering. First of all, structural engineering is a subdiscipline of civil engineering in which structural engineers are trained to design the bones and muscles that create the form and shape of man structures. Structural engineering includes all structural engineering related to the built environment. It includes buildings, bridges, dams, roads, and tunnels. Roles of structural engineers are firstly, analyzing blueprints, maps, reports, topographical and geological data. Second, estimating the cost and quantities of materials, equipment, and labor. Lastly, they also need to inspecting project sites to monitor progress and ensure the project is being constructed according to the design specifications. Next, I'd like to introduce geotechnical engineering. Geotechnical engineering is the branch of civil engineering concerned with the engineering behavior of earth materials. It is the study of the behavior of soils under the influence of loading forces and soil-water interactions. Geotechnical engineer uses principles of soil mechanics and rock mechanics to first investigate subsurface conditions and materials. Second, determine the relevant physical and chemical properties of these materials. Lastly, they assess risks posed by site conditions. Next is about geological engineering. Geological engineering is the application of geological knowledge to the siting, design, construction, operation, and maintenance of civil engineering structures and facilities. The roles of geological engineers are first, analysis of past and future ground behavior. Second, mapping at all scales. Lastly, geological engineer also has a job of designing mines to remove materials in a safe and efficient way to use in utilizers and manufacturing. Last is about transportation engineering. Transportation engineering is a branch of civil engineering that is involved in the planning, design, operation, and maintenance of safe and efficient transportation systems. These systems include roadways, railways, waterways, and intermodal operations. The role of a transportation engineer are first, develop efficient transportation systems that fulfill the needs. Second, review the effect of urban development on traffic systems. Third, stimulate traffic in an interaction to make sure that traffic movement is smooth. Lastly, they also have to redesign existing transportation systems to accommodate more traffic.
I'm going to continue the next subfield of civil engineering, water and environmental engineering. Watershed is a land area that channels rainfall and snowmelt to creeks, streams, and rivers, and eventually to outflow points such as the severe bays and the ocean. So basically, watershed is the water collected area. There's two types of watershed, which is developed watershed and natural watershed. Water resource engineering is analysis and design of systems or structures to control water in order to fulfill the needs of human and environment. So to control water in terms of quantity and quality of water, time of water supply, and distribution of water. So water resource engineers is a civil engineer that have skill in planning, design, operation, as well as manage the surface and groundwater system, preservation and improvement of the natural river and watershed environment, design and construction of water control facilities, conservation of water resource. Water resource system is a structure of facilities that are able to treat, store, and convey water. There's two types of water resource system, water control system and water use system. Water control system is a structure in a water management system that convey water, control the direction or rate of flow, or maintains a desired water surface elevation, while water system is water distribution that can be used in domestic or industrial. Coastal engineering. The coast is land that border an ocean or a sea, and coastal is described as the things that affect the coast or are located there. There's a few coastal zone, which is subzone, the intertidal zone between low and high water mark. At shore, the inland of the subzone. Near shore, the breaker zone waves, then offshore, the further out to sea and beyond the influence of waves. Coastal hydrodynamic is a coastal dynamic force that meet with coastal physical characteristic and sediment transfer happen. Sediment transfer is erosion, accretion, and sedimentation. There's a few threats in coastal zone. Beach and coastline erosion, environmental threats, river mount sedimentation, sea level, extreme storm, tsunami waves, and inundation. The factor that of coastline movement is relationship between sediment, wind, and water. Next is a river transport sediment to the coastal and the monsoon wind in South Asia. So why beach erodes? There's two reasons why beach erodes. First is sediment transport in coastal cell. Within a specific coastal cell, there is a pattern of sediment supply and demand. Next is change in equilibrium of sediment transport. There's a few factors why there is a change in equilibrium of sediment transport. First, because of seasonal changes. Next, global climate change. Third, upstream river developments. Next, sand mining and coastal protection structure. There's a few strategies to protect coastal erosion, such as seawall, groin, detached breakwater, submerged breakwater, and beach nourishment. The challenge that need to be faced by the engineer in coastal land conservation, first is cost, second, design limitation, next, extreme climate, harsh seasonal variation, and beach conservation needs. We will continue in the environmental engineering. Environmental engineering is a field that engineering concerned with preventing humans from being harmed by environmental factors. We know that we have a lot of environmental issues. There's a four major of environmental issues. First is air issue, next water issue, waste and land pollution, climate change. There's a few factors why water can be polluted. First, because of chemical waste from industrial, marine dumping, and the use of pesticides. There's a few effects of water pollution. For example, lack of water supply is also can affecting our marine life and human health. In air issue, why air being polluted because of smoke from vehicles? Because day by day we can see that the number of vehicles on the road is increasing, and because of some reason people avoid themselves from using public transport. Next, open burning as well as industrial process. Because of this factor, human health can be affected and we can face haze and acid rain. In water and land pollution, there's a few effects of land pollution, such as polluted soil, and because of land pollution, it can affecting our water quality. While for waste pollution, it can affecting our marine life and develop some disease. In climate change, the factor of climate change is deforestation as well as oil and gas. Can affect our rising in sea level and higher our ocean temperature. There's a few ways to overcome the environmental issue. For example, we can use a reusable item. We also can conserve our water and electricity. We also can recycle the waste in order to conserve the natural resources.
Now, we have come to the second part of this video, which we will explain and discuss about the 4 assignments. First is about structural and material engineering assignment. Students are required to find a 3-story building and explain about the architecture concept, structural system of the building. My group members use Masjid Negara, which is located at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The mosque was built to fit the tropical environment of the area. A big meeting space is created by the concrete roof, which is supposed to look like an open umbrella. The mosque interior is given a clean and stylish appearance by the design of the column and ceiling. The next assignment is about geological, geotechnical, and transportation engineering. In this assignment, students will discuss issues of civil engineering related to geological, geotechnical, and transportation engineering in tropical climates. Several issues that will occur in civil engineering are solid liquefaction in geological engineering, slope stabilization in geotechnical engineering, and pavement crack, traffic congestion, and drainage system in transportation engineering.
Now we will discuss about water resources engineering assignment. First question is, in a water-related system, we need to discuss how a single small action may have a big environmental impact, and we need to provide an example. The action that we think will bring a big impact to the environment is using fertilizer, because it can lead to eutrophication. Eutrophication is the death of living creatures underwater due to the lack of oxygen. Using fertilizer also can contribute to climate change, where gas nitrous oxide will emitted into the atmosphere. It also can lead to the environmental impact on water-related system. The second question, we need to decide one of problems that human activity can cause in watershed and how to minimize or eliminate it. Problem that will happen in watershed is stormwater pollution. The three ways to minimize or eliminate this problem: by minimize the usage of commercial fertilizer. Instead of using commercial fertilizer, we can use organic fertilizer is the better way. Second, by set up more garbage cans at public places. It can avoid us throwing rubbish at the street or into the drain. We also can minimize the usage of plastic bags. Instead of using plastic bag, we can use eco shopping bag. Third question, we need to think the expertise involved in water resource project and briefly describe each of their roles. So first is surveyor. They will carry out the survey work at the different sites that may be suitable for them. Next is hydrologist, that will be study the movement and properties of water at the site. Next is geotechnical engineers that will be responsible for investigating the soil at the site. Civil engineer will design the layout of the dam and decide the best type of the dam. Lastly, mechanical engineer that will design the pipe, floodgates, and turbines of the dam. So for the four questions, we need to explain how a change to any of the existing attracting parameters can create an imbalance that results in coastal erosion or aggression. So when the coastal forces meet with the physical features, they will induce shear stress on the bed, which is it will resuspended other material into the water, and these are transported within the coastal circulation system. This can lead to the aggression. However, when the waves, tides, or current are striking the shore sediment and washing them away, this will change the shape of the coastline and lead to the erosion as a result. The last question, we need to, based on our observation and personal experience, we need to suggest how the Malaysian public can help to reduce and mitigate water-related problem. So the first observation is in Kim Kim River in Pasir Gudang, where it was polluted by chemical waste. In our opinion, from what has happened, maybe we as a public can be the eyes of the law enforcement unit. If they find there are factories emitted non-processed waste into the water, the public has to report to the law enforcement unit. We also need to be responsible to stop throwing plastic and rubbish into the sea and river. We also have problem in water shortage at Selangor residential area because they keep suffering from water disruption. Therefore, Malaysia public has to use the water safely. Next is environmental engineering assignment. So for the first question, produce a trend line curve showing our family water consumption. So as you can see, for this question, in my family, we have 4 family members that live in the same house. So we are using our monthly water bill, and generally, I just assume each people water usage for a year. So this is the trend line curve and the indicator that show each person graph. For the next question, we need to determine how much water we use for shower, laundry, and cooking. So for laundry and cooking, we always use water for laundry and cooking because it was a daily activity, as well as shower, but not as much as laundry and cooking. Others is related to like gardening or washing our car or motorcycle. Next, we need to produce a trend line curve on our energy consumption for a year. So this is the trend line curve that I produced from our monthly bill, and I just assume each person energy consumption for a year. So that's all. Thank you.
As a summary, throughout the 4 assignments, we can conclude that civil engineering plays an important role in our daily life. This is because civil engineers shape the world we live in. They design, build, and maintain the infrastructure we use every day. They also ensure our safety when using these infrastructures. Hence, we should appreciate what civil engineers had done for us. That's all from Group 44. Thank you.